Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. On this very Super Sunday, we see Manchester United take on Spurs at Old Trafford in a game where a defeat for United will see them held in mid-table, but a defeat for Spurs would mean they miss out on the chance to get back into the top four. Ten Hag and his team have won their last game in all competitions against Wigan in the FA Cup, but their last league match was a 2-1 away defeat to Forest. It is currently a 50% win rate for the Reds in the Premier League with 10 wins from their first 20 games, with 6 of those 10 coming here at Old Trafford. For Spurs, their form has picked up at the back end of 2023, with just 1 defeat in their last 5 in the league, also progressing to the 4th round of the FA Cup last week after a home win to Burnley. Postecoglou came out on top at the start of the season when these two teams met, when it was a 2-0 victory for Spurs in game week 2 of this Premier League campaign. So, for the 64th meeting between these two clubs, can United make it 4 wins from 5 at home to Spurs, or can the away side win at Old Trafford for the first time since October 2020? I am really looking forward to this game. I don't know what it is about it. I just think it would be a really interesting game, tactical-wise, battle-wise, one-on-ones. You know, you've got your Werner against Wan-Bissaka, you've got your Brennan Johnson against Diogo Dalot. You've got a good midfield battle going on there with Kobbie Mainoo and Eriksen and Fernandes having to deal with a very solidified midfield three in the Tottenham team with Højbjerg, Skip and Bentancur. So I just think all around the pitch it's some great battles that are going to take place. I think it should be a fantastic game against Manchester United, who are currently 9th in the table, but if they are to win, they would go up towards 7th place, just in behind West Ham, I believe, on goal difference, but I could be wrong. Would go into 7th behind West Ham on goal difference. That would put them on 34 points, and that would leave them 5 behind Tottenham, who are currently 5th with 39 points, and it would leave them 6 points off Arsenal in 4th, who are currently on 40 points. Manchester United do not want to lose ground on that top 5, top 6 area. They want to try and keep up with them as much as possible. We obviously know that Newcastle are struggling at the moment. They were held to another defeat yesterday. I know it was to Manchester City at home, but they had the lead in that one as well. So I think for Manchester United, I think it's key that they just keep picking up these 3 points, especially when teams around them are struggling, the likes of Newcastle. You know, Brighton haven't been firing this season in the Premier League with their European campaign they've got going on. West Ham are doing fantastically. They've got to try and keep up with them, who are just above them at the minute in 6th. Spurs have had a dip at the end of last year with a lot of injuries going ahead, in fairness. You know, losing the likes of Maddison, Van der Ven, who returns today. They've had Bentancur out. Bissouma's missed games through suspension. So is Sarr in the midfield as well. And it looks like Tottenham are going to start picking their form back up. 4 wins in their last 5 in all competitions, but 5 wins from their last 10, which shows you the drop-off at the end of the year and then the come-up at the start of this year, going into the back end of last year as well. But we'll have to see, with United having players returning and Tottenham players also having players returning and then also going, it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of match day squad for both. We'll go through both lineups in a minute or two time. It is at Old Trafford, and the last time these two sides met at Old Trafford last season, it was a 2-0 win for the home side. It was back in mid-October. Fred and Fernandes with 2 second-half goals against what was at the time an Antonio Conte Spurs side, and the reverse fixture at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was in late April, when Manchester United had a 2-0 lead going into half-time, but goals from Porro and Son made sure that Tottenham took a point and didn't allow Manchester United to do the league double over Tottenham Hotspur. But it is just the 4 away wins for Tottenham at Old Trafford in the Premier League. They've won in 2020, that very famous 6-1 win. They've won in 2018, 2014 and 2012. So they did struggle for a good 20 years at Old Trafford in the Premier League, but they've picked 4 wins up in the last 12 or so years. So a bit more of a positive record than they did for the first 20 years of facing Manchester United in the Premier League. We'll go through both teams now in more detail. You can see them on screen, and we'll start with the home side. It is Andre Onana in goal, who is making his last appearance in a Manchester United shirt before joining Cameroon at AFCON. He has played in all 30 games for Manchester United so far this season in all competitions. A back four on the right back position is going to be Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's got 3 wins in his previous 10 against Tottenham Hotspur. At left back is going to be Diogo Dalot, who came off the bench in the last fixture between these two at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and 2 centre halves of Johnny Evans, who's now 36, turned 36 at the start of this year, and he'll play alongside Raphael Varane, whose contract expires next year in 2025, and he has got a wage of £340,000 a week. And we'll have to see if they extend the 30-year-old's contract. To all the midfielders of Kobbie Mainoo, who makes another start in the Premier League. He's got 7 starts now in his last 9 in the Premier League. It is a very, very revolutionary player to bring in, Kobbie Mainoo. He's been absolutely fantastic, and he'll play alongside former Tottenham man for just under 7 years, and that's Christian Eriksen. He played 305 times for us Spurs, and he scored 69 goals. There's going to be a 3 behind the striker. On the right is Alejandro Garnacho, who's making his 11th start in a row in the Premier League for the Red Devils. On the left is going to be Marcus Rashford, who is looking for his 80th Premier League goal. Through the middle, behind the striker, is going to be Bruno Fernandes, who scored his 70th Manchester United goal in their win away at Wigan on Monday. And leading the line up front is going to be Rasmus Højlund, who's got the 1 Premier League goal so far in his career. He's got 6 altogether for Manchester United, 5 of them in their 6 Champions League games where they failed to qualify out of the group stages. On the bench is going to be Altay Bayındır, the backup goalkeeper signed from Fenerbahce in the summer. Tom Heaton, another backup goalkeeper on the bench. Lisandro Martinez returns to Manchester United's squad. He's been out with a foot injury since September. He returns, and another defensive option on the bench is Will Kambwala. Casemiro also returns. He's been out since the 21st of October. He's back on the bench. Scott McTominay also amongst the substitutes. He's not started any of the last 3 games now for Manchester United, in the Premier League. Amari Forson, the 19-year-old, he keeps his place on the bench. He made his Manchester United debut against Wigan on Monday. Anthony also on the bench. He has not scored or assisted in a game against Tottenham in his career, and alongside him is going to be Facundo Pellistri, who came on as a late substitute in the 2-0 loss for Manchester United earlier on in the season against Tottenham Hotspur. And for Tottenham, they make 5 changes from their last league lineup against Bournemouth on New Year's Eve. In goal is going to be Guillermo Vicario, who has played in all Premier League games so far for Tottenham, keeping just the 5 clean sheets, 1 of them against Manchester United. Right back is former Manchester City player Pedro Porro, despite never making an appearance for the blue side of Manchester. And the left back is going to be Destiny Udogie, who's got the 1 goal so far this season, and that came in a home victory against Newcastle. 2 centre halves, a returning Mickey van der Ven. He was injured in that game against Chelsea. He's been injured for his last 9 games in the Premier League. He returns alongside Christian Romero, who has been out of the last 3 games due to a hamstring injury. 3 midfielders. One of them is going to be Oliver Skipp, who joined the club in 2008. He's making his 99th appearance for Tottenham Hotspur. Alongside him in the midfield is going to be Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who's making start 139 for Tottenham in his Spurs career, joining in August 2020. And in the midfield also is Uruguayan Rodrigo Bentancur, who made 4 appearances in the league from October to November, made 1 appearance in November. 1 appearance in November against Bournemouth. He's missed 15 games out injured, but this is his 3rd start in the league this season. Front 3 on the right is going to be Brennan Johnson, just the 1 goal for Spurs so far. He's made his 15th start for them, and that is going to be his 9th in the last 10. On the left is going to be new signing, on loan from RB Leipzig, former Chelsea man Timo Werner, who has only drawn in his career against Manchester United. He's played the red side of Manchester 4 times. He's drawn every single occasion. He's on loan from RB Leipzig, where there is a £15.5 million option to buy the 27-year-old German. And up front, leading the line, a man who has hit goal-scoring form for Tottenham, is their £60 million man, Richarlison. He's got 6 Premier League goals now this season, 5 in his last 5, 7 altogether in all competitions this season. Can he be the difference maker tonight For Tottenham, Richarlison does only have the one goal in 11 previously against Manchester United, and that came in a 4-0 home win at Everton back in 2019. Subs for Tottenham, Fraser Forster and Brandon Austin are the goalkeeping backups on the bench. Right back Emerson Royal drops to the bench after making 3 starts in a row in the Premier League for the injured Mickey van der Ven. New signing, January, from Genoa for £26.7 million is Radu Dragusin, who has played 3 times before against Roma, whilst under Jose Mourinho. He is only 21 years of age, the Romanian centre-back, and alongside him is 18-year-old centre-back Alfie Dorrington, another youngster, 19 years of age, and that is Jamie Donnelly, who's made 3 first-team appearances, 2 in the league against City and Newcastle, and 1 off the bench in the FA Cup against Burnley. Brian Hill, who's been looking to go out on loan for the rest of this season, he remains on the bench. He's looking to make his 10th appearance of the season in all competitions, and alongside him, another Spaniard on the bench. That is Iago Santiago, who has been on the bench 3 times now for the first team, and he's yet to make his debut for Tottenham Hotspur at senior level. They are the 2 starting 11s, and they are the 2 benches. The players are on the pitch, ready at Old Trafford. It was defeat here last season for Tottenham. It was defeat the season before. You might remember that Cristiano Ronaldo hat-trick in a 3-2 win. He scored an absolute worldie of a goal into the top left corner in that game as well. And also, none of the last 17 Premier League meetings at Old Trafford between these two have finished level. United have won 13, Spurs have won 4. The last draw at Old Trafford was a 1-1 back in October 2005. Goals from Silvestri and Genus. So this game, at this ground, there is usually a winner. Who will be the winner today? We're going to find out, wait and see. Fernandes kicks us off, United kicking left to right, Spurs right to left at Old Trafford. First game of the year for Manchester United at the Theatre of Dreams. And will Spurs come here and destroy those dreams over 3 points, which will put them up the table into 7th for Manchester United as Vicario clears it down the Tottenham left. It deflects into the feet of Dalot towards halfway. And he goes back here into the centre circle to Rafael Varane, who goes backwards here to Onana on the edge of the 18-yard box. Across to the right centre-back, Johnny Evans. He's got Skip closing him down. He plays it down the line to Garnacho. Drives inside away from Werner and switching it out to the left to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who looks to be taking up a left-back position here to start this game off. He finds Rashford. Wan-Bissaka makes a run forward. He won't get there ahead of Romero, who can see the ball out of play for a goal kick. That is very interesting to see Aaron Wan-Bissaka taking up a left-back position. Obviously, they fear the pace of Brennan Johnson on the right-hand side, so they would rather have Wan-Bissaka against Brennan Johnson than Werner against Wan-Bissaka. That's interesting. Tottenham play out from the back, Porro down the line, flicked on by Benton Kerr. Richarlison will chase beyond halfway, but Varane will get there first and go back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Mentioned it before, but this is his last game before leaving to go to the African Cup of Nations for Cameroon. Going to be playing a lot of football in quick space of time, Andre Onana, who's on the ball here in the 18-yard box towards the byline. Left-footed pass to Varane, inside to Mainu, across to Johnny Evans, very calmly done there by Kobbie Mainu at the age of 18. It's absolutely ridiculous. Dalot down the right-hand side towards Fernandes. Big, strong challenge there from Mickey van der Ven. Last touch comes off Fernandes. So that'll be a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur. It's a very, very strong introduction back into the starting 11 for Mickey van der Ven. And he's got the ball here on the halfway line from that throw-in. Goes across to Romero. The last time these two centre-backs played with each other was in that 4-1 defeat to Tottenham, where Van der Ven went off injured after half an hour, and Romero also was sent off in the first half of that game. And the defensive performances have dropped off, but I don't think they've done too badly, Davies and Royal at the back, despite being full-backs. It's a difficult position to convert to, so I don't think they've done horrifically bad, them two. As it is, Manchester United on the ball with Fernandes, through towards Rashford, who's got beyond Porro, controls it nicely, into the box, left-hand side, onto the right foot. Can he let the shot go? He's tackled by Udogie. That drops to Højlund, who strikes! And that is bombed into the roof of the net. And Rasmus Højlund gets goal number 2 in the Premier League. Udogie did so well to tackle Rashford in the box, but they couldn't deal with the second ball. It dropped to Højlund, who knew if he'd got an inch of space, he could let fly. And let fly he did. It absolutely burst past Vicario in the Tottenham goal. It's a quick fire start from Manchester United. It's Rasmus Højlund with the goal. And it all starts with an Onana throw out to the right-hand side to Garnacho, who played it to Fernandes, who then played that ball through. Porro was caught out of position, played it through the gap of Romero, and Porro found Rashford, who entered the area onto his right foot, tried to shoot a couple of times, but in the end he was tackled by Dogi. That tackle fell straight to Højlund, and on his stronger left side, he's able to shoot towards goal, and he has just made sure he hit that as hard as he could. Into the net it goes. It's instinctive. It's dangerous. It's Rasmus Højlund, and it's 1-0 Manchester United. Top left corner. No chance Vicario's getting onto that one. That goes beyond him in a flash. Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. What a start to the game here at Old Trafford. And that's what we need to see more of from Rasmus Højlund in a Manchester United shirt. He's definitely got it. The young kid, who's now scored in his last 2 Premier League appearances, Rasmus Højlund, because he wasn't in the squad for the game against Nottingham Forest in that 2-1 defeat away from home. He was ill for that game. So he has got 2 in his last 2 in the Premier League. His last one against Aston Villa in that 3-2 home victory, which was a really strong comeback from the home side. And they got an early lead here. So Nana in the net for Manchester United. Out to the Garnacho. He's in a right back position here. Down the line to Dallo. Tries to find Garnacho. Picked up by Werner. Ball inside to Richarlison, who pokes it out wide left. Werner gets onto it. It's a heavy touch from Timo Werner. And he's tackled on the corner flag by Dallo. Good strong sliding challenge from the Portuguese international. And it'll be a throw-in on the near side for Tottenham. Throwing into the area towards Richarlison. His touch goes towards the byline. He keeps it in. He kicks it off Evans. And that'll be a corner for Tottenham. We've got plenty of height in there, especially Van der Ven, 6'4", Romero 6'1", Richarlison 6 foot. So they've got bodies in there, as they obviously want to try and get back in this game as soon as possible. After a slow start, really, conceding so early to Rasmus Højlund, who gets his 7th Manchester United goal in all competitions. It'll be Pedro Porro to take it. It'll be a right-footed in-swinger. His left arm is raised. He puts the ball in towards the near post. Headed away by Rashford. Drops towards the edge of the box, about 30 yards out to Udogie. It goes backwards to Højbjerg. Plays it out wide right here to Oliver Skip, making appearance number 99 for Tottenham. Goes inside to his left here to Bentancur. Midway inside the United half. It goes back to the halfway line to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. It's now Bentancur again. He's obviously struggled with injury the last year or so. Out with an ACL injury last season, as the ball's been played through by Porro. Johnson with a cross, comes off Evans, drops in the area to Mainu, who dribbles out of the area towards the left-hand side, finds Rashford, through to Mainu, then inside to Højlund. He's so good, Gobby Mainu. Højlund, switch out to the right to Garnacho, midway inside the Tottenham half. He's running at Udogie. Dallo's making a galloping run on the overlap, finds him in the area, cuts it back low, and it's blocked off by Udogie. And that'll be a corner for Manchester United. It's been a lively start at Old Trafford. Really well played by Mainu, picking the ball up in his 18-yard box and building the play up himself to get United out wide right and into the Tottenham box eventually at the end of the attack. And Manchester United would love to double their lead as soon as possible. And here is former Spurs man Christian Eriksen, who just applauds the away support, who was just behind him as he takes this corner on the near side. It'll be a right-footed outswinger. Garnacho's coming short. The referee for today, John Brooks, he's just having a conversation with Johnny Evans and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Just a bit of shoving and pushing and pulling, but we can get back underway with a gliding ball to the far post, where it's been volleyed towards goal and it's just gone wide. Shot was taken on there by number 10, Marcus Rashford, who was left alone at the far post, literally left alone. That's crazy marking from Tottenham Hotspur. I know they're going zonal in areas, but my word, he was left all alone. And if he'd caught that better, might have asked a question of Vicario, but couldn't get it on target as a Porro long ball down the right channel for Tottenham will go straight through for Varane in the Manchester United half, who will go across to Evans, then back to Onana in the United 18-yard box. Moves it back out to the right here to Johnny Evans. He's got Timo Werner closing him down. He plays it down the line towards Garnacho. Can't keep it in play. Throwing for Tottenham on the near side towards the final third. Not a great ball from Evans. Didn't give Garnacho a lot of room to work with there. As Udogie throws it in towards the penalty area. Can't quite get it away from Evans, who left foot volleys it away. Only as far as Van der Ven on halfway. Back by Højbjerg to Romero, who has to run back to get the ball. And he goes into his 18-yard box to Vicario. Right-footed touch and a right-footed pass. Out to the right-hand side to Brennan Johnson, who can't turn away from Wan-Bissaka. Wins it on halfway. Ericsson out to the left now. It's Bruno Fernandes. He's got Wan-Bissaka making a run ahead of him. Fernandes will go on his own and scoop it into the box, looking for Højlund. Overhit. Caught by Vicario. Rolled out by Vicario to Destiny Udogie, who will charge forward down the Tottenham left. He's got Werner making a run ahead of him. Doesn't use him. Goes backwards instead and into the Tottenham half to Højbjerg, who switches out to the right. Good control from Porro. Stuck like glue. Porro on the inside, in the centre of the pitch. He's going to go for a right-footed shot, which deflects off Ericsson and into the hands of Onana. Not bad run there from Pedro Porro. The touch was fantastic. Bit of a challenging ball from Højbjerg, but like I say, darted inside the pitch, right down the middle, trying to curl it to the right-hand side of the goal where Onana could save. And Onana's ball out to Garnacho has been controlled well with his chest. He's been bundled down from behind by Udogie, and that'll be a free kick for Manchester United. And Tottenham have scored in their last 32 Premier League games. It is the longest ongoing run from any Premier League side. It's Spurs' joint longest scoring run in their history, scoring 32 in a row. And that came in April to December 1949, and they also did a run of 32 in February to November 1962. So even though United are ahead, Tottenham usually score in every game they play under Ange Postecoglou. As Fernandes has found the ball out wide right to Garnacho. Isolated here with Udogie, running at the Italian fullback, trying to go across the pitch to Rashford on the left. His pass is misplaced, intercepted by Porro on the edge of the 18-yard box. Drifting out right here is Bentancur, who receives the pass and goes back here to captain for today. And that's Christian Romero, as Manchester United are facing a Tottenham side without Heung-min Son, who is off in the Asia Cup, missing his 12 goals so far in the league. 7 of his 12 for Heung-min Son this season have been away from home, as Werner finds Richarlison midway side the United half. Goes to his right to Bentancur, 25 yards from goal. Furthest right is Brennan Johnson in the corner of the box. He glides the ball into the far post. Header won by Werner, flicked on behind by Evans. That's not far away, and it's going to be a corner for Tottenham. It's not a bad directed header by Werner. Wasn't a lot of pace on the cross there by Johnson. Like I say, he just glided it in, so Werner had to generate the pace, and he headed it back across goal. And Evans, who got a head towards it, nearly diverted it into his own goal, but just headed it beyond for a corner on the far side. It will be, can't quite see at the moment, they're showing the commotion in the box at the moment. It'll be an outswinger from Porro, headed on by Bentancur and helped away at the far post by Dalot. It'll be kept alive by Werner, edge of the area to Højbjerg on the left-hand side. Can he recycle the ball into the box? He does with a switch out to Porro. 1-on-1 with Fernandes. Can he work across? He attempts to. Blocks by Fernandes and it's kept in as he volleys away towards Oliver Skipp, who heads it forward away from Garnacho. Nodded out wide left by Højbjerg to Werner. Werner on the left goes on the outside of Dalot. Shows him too much the ball. Tackles it away nicely, Dalot. Højbjerg keeps it in on the near side. Playing it back to Skipp. Forward to Udogie. Still on this Tottenham left. He goes forward towards Johnson. Beat to it by Johnny Evans, but the pass back from Garnacho deflects towards Richarlison. And it's had to be poked behind by Dalot. And that's going to be another corner for Tottenham. This has been a fantastic opening 12 minutes of this game. Very dangerous cross from Porro on the outswinger. Bentancur won it free. And he headed it towards the far post where it was right on Werner's head. If it wasn't for Dalot to just flick the ball away with his head beyond the German international. So they've got some more defending to do here. Manchester United, they've got to keep their concentration levels up. It looks like Pedro Porro will be taking the corners from both sides. So this will be a right-footed in-swinger. It's a deeper one this time. It's headed away by Wan-Bissaka to the edge of the box, where Garnacho can't quite beat Skipp to it. Skipp keeps it alive, moving away from Højlund, poking it out wide right towards Brennan Johnson, who was coming back from an offside position. And it'll be a Manchester United free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box. So it's Manchester United with the lead here. They have won 3 of the last 4 at home against Tottenham. As Tottenham are looking for their first ever Premier League double over Manchester United in the Premier League history. It'd be their first league double over United since the 1989-1990 season. Like I say, a victory here is rare, but their last victory here was that 6-1 under Jose Mourinho when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was defeated heavily at Old Trafford as Garnacho getting around Udogie and outpaces the Italian. Garnacho towards the byline as he crosses. He's tackled strongly but fairly with a slide tackle from Destiny Udogie, and I believe that has gone for a corner kick. Plenty of corners and plenty of pace shown there by Garnacho. Big tackle from Udogie on the recovery, and that is a very well-timed tackle. 13.5 minutes in, it's still 1-0 to Manchester United. For a Rasmus Højlund goal, can they double their lead here? Eriksson again on this near side, near post, headed away, goes beyond Mainu and Skip. Mainu will chase it and get there first and turns on Skip and plays it to his left to Fernandes in the centre circle. Out to the left, comes off the thigh of Udogie, controlled by Romero on the edge of the 18-yard box, and down the line for Brennan Johnson, who kicks it off Fernandes, and that'll be a throw-in on halfway for Tottenham Hotspur. Taken quickly, Bentancur back into Johnson, turns away from Fernandes, and that'll be a free kick there for Tottenham. Just a little of a late challenge there from captain Bruno Fernandes, who has not scored in the last 8 Premier League games he's played in, but did add to his goal tally this season of 6 with that penalty in the FA Cup against Wigan Athletic to get them into the 4th round of the FA Cup, where they'll take on either Eastleigh or Newport County in the 4th round away from home. Midway side the Spurs half, it's Mickey van der Ven back in the team after missing so many games out. The last 9 altogether he's missed. Mickey van der Ven, as the possession is on the edge of the 18-yard box with Vicario back to the left centre-back of Van der Ven, not being pressed by Bruno Fernandes. He'll go back across to Romero at right centre-half into Højbjerg, out wide to the right to Pedro Porro. Pass is short towards Johnson, cut out by Wan-Bissaka, who charges into the Tottenham half and finds Rashford, who goes back to the halfway line here to Højlund, and now it's Kobbie Mainoo. And then back on halfway now with Johnny Evans in the centre circle. Eriksson, Dalot, 10 yards inside the Tottenham half, he bursts and skips away from Werner. Finds Garnacho, who's furthest right, goes inside to his left here to Kobbie Mainoo. He sees a switch out to Rashford, and he distributes it so very well. Good touch from Rashford. Inside the area now. Goes on the outside of Porro. Byline. Cut back. Deflects off Romero. Corner kick for Manchester United. And it's been a very good start from Erik ten Hag's men. It's just a beautiful switch out to the left by Mainoo. Finding Rashford, who's looked a bit more confident today. Seemed a little bit off the paces against Wigan on Monday. But he's causing Pedro Porro a few early problems in this game. So it'll be Bruno Fernandes on the far side to take. It'll be right-footed in-swinger. Rashford is there as the shorter option. I think it's going to go straight into the box here. Towards the near post, headed away by Van der Ven. Drops to the edge of the area to Mainoo. About midway inside the Tottenham half. He goes back into the centre circle to Wan-Bissaka. He's been forced backwards here to Onana. Who, with his left foot, slams it down the United left perfectly to Bruno Fernandes, who takes it down, tries a cross, loops into the box off Romero, volleyed by Højbjerg. And it'll be Wan-Bissaka to see this ball out for a Manchester United throw-in just inside their own half. Long ball down the Manchester United right, just overhit there. Udogie will lightly jog towards the corner flag to keep this one in. We know Garnacho's got pace, but he's not that quick. Down the lines of Werner. Inside to Van der Ven. Now Udogie to Skip. In a left-back position. Pokes it in back to the box where Vicario will catch it. It was more of a tackle that from Skip than a pass back. He was challenging with quite a few Manchester United players there in that left-back area. Didn't want to lose it there. Tottenham Hotspur, that is for sure. Having a bad place to give the ball away. Bentancur, curling ball down the right channel, cut out by Wan-Bissaka as it was going towards Johnson. Rashford now on that far side, last touch off Porro, throwing for Manchester United again on the halfway line. And there is the Tottenham new signing, Radu Dragusin, signed from Genoa, played last season in Serie B in Italy, played in the second division with Genoa, where he got them promoted second place, Now he's had a good Serie A start with Genoa after being at Juventus for 5 years, making 4 first-team appearances. As Dogi's cross at the near post has to be deflected behind by Evans for a corner for Tottenham again. Ball goes into the 6-yard area, and his goal-scoring form continues. Richarlison at Tottenham's help once again. He is now becoming their number 9, and he is scoring goals, Richarlison. They packed out that 6-yard box from the in-swinging corner from Pedro Porro, and it was only a matter of time until one of those corners became effective and brought a goal for Tottenham. Headed it at the near post to the far post where there was no one there to stop the ball going in. Well up there from Richarlison. Seemed like he was the only one who jumped, really. Højlund was the closest to him, but he headed it to that far post as it nestled into the back of the net. Richarlison scoring once again. It is now 6 goals in his last 6 games in the Premier League. And it is Manchester United 1, Tottenham 1. And it was about time a corner came off for someone. We've had plenty of corners starting this game. I think that was corner number 7 between both sides. And Richarlison got up, diverted the header to the far post. And no one at the far post for Manchester United to stop the ball. And Arna was flat-footed. And, usually you see teams have someone at the far post to clear it off the line. But no one was there. And it is 6 in the last 6 in the Premier League for Richarlison. And it's only his 2nd goal against Manchester United, and it is his first ever at Old Trafford, and Tottenham are back level, and it is now 33 games in a row where Tottenham Hotspur have scored in the league. They had scored 32 in a row in 1949 and 1962, but now scoring 33 games in a row in the league is their longest ever run of scoring in consecutive league games. And they're going to come again here on the far side with Porro. Goes back into the Tottenham half here with Bentancur. Back inside towards Romero. Fernandes is pressing, but he goes forward to Højbjerg and out to the left here to Mickey van der Ven. Out to the left on halfway to Werner. He's got a Dogi ahead of him. Just to his right. Just keeps it simple. Into the midfield of Højbjerg. Again, got time to just relax on the ball and play it to the right to Romero, who will dribble into the Manchester United half. He's got Pedro Porro ahead of him, and that is Pedro Porro's 10th assist in the Premier League. 7 of them have come this season. He has been seriously effective in a creative way for Tottenham to start the first half of this campaign. Van der Ven, midway inside the United half here, he's dribbled forward. He's played the ball back though to Skip, and it looks like Tottenham are back in their groove now, and you can see how more comfortable they are in possession, I think, for sure, when they've got Van der Ven and Romero on the pitch. It's a lot different when you've got to deal with Davies and Royale at centre-back. Like I said, I don't think them two have actually, done that bad as a centre-back partnership, despite they're both quite small full-backs. When they played Manchester City, I know they played and conceded 3 at the Etihad, but I thought them two, playing out from the back, were unbelievable. Really taking the risks as Van der Ven lifts the ball up to halfway. Richarlison loses out to Varane. The loose header drops to Udogie. Out wide left it goes now to Werner, who's got a lot of room on this near side. Johnny Evans is making his way across. Dalot covers him at the centre-back. Werner running forward, onto his right foot, 25 yards from goal, he's going to let fly and completely miscues it well high and wide of the right-hand side of the goal. And it remains here after 22 minutes. Manchester United 1, Tottenham 1. 3rd minute goal from Rasmus Højlund. Thumping it into the back of the net. And a really good header from Richarlison. Levelled it at 1-1. Ball into the Tottenham half, controlled with the chest of Udogie. Goes back to Van der Ven on the edge of the 18-yard box. And across to the number 17, Christian Romero, who's making his 80th appearance today for Tottenham Hotspur, after signing on a permanent in August 2022 from Atalanta for £42.5 million. Obviously spent the season before that on loan He's got 4 goals for Tottenham, alongside his 4 red cards, as Benton Kerr slips the ball through towards Richarlison. Kicked away by Wan-Bissaka. Not very far though. Porro out to the left of Werner. Edge of the area. Enters the box. Right-footed shot which deflects into the air and headed away by Dallo. Into the path of Garnacho. Goes to his left to Fernandez. Volleys out forward. Can't find Højlund. Intercepted by Romero in the centre circle. He's now back out to the Tottenham right with Porro. Inside to Bentancur. Then back out towards Porro. Who's getting Rashford chasing him behind. Down the line it goes to Brennan Johnson, who's been tackled right through by Wan-Bissaka. Now be a free kick and a booking for the English fullback. I mean, he might argue he got the ball, but my word, he definitely went through the man there. Let's have a look. The ball was there to be won for Wan-Bissaka. A bit of a short ball there by Porro to Brennan Johnson. And yeah, to get the ball, Wan-Bissaka went right through the man. And I don't know about the yellow card. It's definitely a foul. You can't go through the man like that to get the ball. So it would be a free kick. Again, Pedro Porro over it. We've just said how creative he's been this season. You know, that's 10 assists for him in the Premier League. In his 35th appearance, for a right back. It's very good numbers in terms of assists. It's on the very far right-hand side here, and it's about midway inside the Manchester United half, so it's a good chance to launch this in the box. They've gone early, down the line to Johnson, byline, lifts it into the area, headed away by Dallo. Flag's gone up now, as the free kick was taken quickly there by Pedro Porro towards Brennan Johnson. I think there was a supporter there. Oh no, yellow card out. Rodrigo Bentancur booked for kicking the ball away there, as the referee had blown for a free kick for offside. Bentancur kicked it to the opposite end. I think, you know, he chested it down, Bentancur. He heard the whistle go and then kicked it out wide to the left, knowing exactly what he was doing there, Rodrigo Bentancur. He was trying to claim that he was passing the ball out wide left because that was his next pass, but it probably was his next pass, but he definitely heard that whistle go, and that's why he definitely made sure he kicked it to the opposite side of the pitch. So Bentancur yellow carded, ball through, Vicario out of his box, he heads away, flag up. Offside there, and Rasmus Højlund, I think the United there, trying to take a quick one. Catch out the Tottenham back line, but Vicario was out, and Højlund was offside anyway, so free kick for Tottenham. About 20 yards so away from the halfway line here. I think Romero will either go short to Van der Ven or Vicario, or go long forward up towards Richarlison. He goes completely against what I've said, and out wide right to Bentancur. To his left to Højbjerg, who's entered the Manchester United half. Johnson in the right wing position. He goes back to Porro right back on the halfway line. It's now with Romero once again. Van der Ven curls it out to the left here to Udogie. Sprinting away here from Mainu. Udogie still running and entering the box and being tackled by Dallo. Won the ball cleanly there. And in the right back position, it's Dallo with the ball. Finds Mainu. Then out to the right to Bruno Fernandes, who's just took up a right wing position here as he slams it off the back of the leg of Oliver Skip. And that'll be a throw-in for Manchester United inside their own half. And it will be more than likely Diogo Dallo to take it. Dallo gets the return ball here from Fernandes. Left-footed ball forward by Dallo towards Højlund on halfway. Headed forward by Van der Ven. Flicked forward by Skip. Can't quite find Bentancur. Wan-Bissaka cleans it up in the midfield area. Now it's out to the right back Dallo again, who with his left foot wants to switch it out. And it's cut out very quickly by Porro. Rashford caught on his toes, but then Porro's ball forward is intercepted by Wan-Bissaka. Rashford can now burst away beyond the halfway line. Porro's trying to get back in time, but Rashford's got away from him and then runs into Romero. And again, the ball drops into the right back position for Porro, who goes forward to Johnson, who runs out of pitch on the far side. And that'll be a throw-in for Manchester United, taken quickly by Bruno Fernandes to Eriksen, who restarts into the United half with a pass back to Raphael Varane. He's only ever lost once against Tottenham, and that was in that last game, in game week 2. Faced them a couple of times in the Champions League as well. Raphael Varane, once in the Bernabeu, where he drew 1-1 with Tottenham in 2017. Out to the left again to Bruno Fernandes. Scoops it through into the area, volleyed away by Romero. Porro at right back, scoops it towards Johnson. Eriksen gets there first. And Fernandes, who kicks it off Johnson, it deflected back off Fernandes and perfectly into the feet of Eriksen. So the home side keep the possession. Ericsson on the halfway line. All Tottenham players behind the ball. It's back with Varane. Evans into Onana in the 18-yard box. Goes to the right to Johnny Evans, who's found space here on the near side. He's got Skip closing him down. He plays it to Garnacho, who can't find Dallo. And Werner goes back to Vicario. Tottenham will restart from the back. It's only a 50% win rate away from home for Ange Postecoglou in the Premier League. 5 wins from 10 against teams you'd expect them to beat as well. Bournemouth, Burnley, Luton, Palace and Forest. And then 3 draws, which have been... We've had 2-2 draws, Tottenham, and then 1 3-3 draw at the Etihad. But they were unbeaten in their first 10, Tottenham. You might remember that 8 wins and 2 draws, picking up 26 points from a possible 30 to start off the campaign, and then the injuries came in and the rails fell off just ever so slightly, but they're picking it back up now. Tottenham with 4 wins in their last 5 in all competitions. Van der Ven for Tottenham. Turning away from Højlund, who scored the first goal of the game. In the 3rd minute, it's been Manchester United's only shot on target. Højbjerg into the centre circle, finding Porro. Can't find Udogie, who'd come inside and gone forward from full-back. It's now Johnny Evans bringing it out from the back, surrounded by Richarlison and Udogie, and loses it. Now Werner on the left. It goes back here to Udogie. And then here is Romero on halfway. Dribbling forward, finding a nice pass in between the lines for Richarlison. And firing it out wide to Brennan Johnson, who's entered the box. He's got Porro on the overlap. He'll go on his own instead, and it deflects to the near post. Easy save by Onana. It's not a great shot from Johnson, who's only got the 1 goal so far for Tottenham. That came away from home at Molineux against Wolves, where they ended up losing 2-1 that day. Fernandes, ball over the top, down the left-hand side. Rashford's going to get there. The flag will stay down. Garnacho's in the box. So is Højlund. Rashford will put it in there, and it's an easy catch in the 6-yard box in the end for Guillermo Vicario. Just getting the ball deep there. Fernandes in his own half and playing it over the top. It would have been tight. Can't say for sure if it was on or side or off, but it was close. The flag had stayed down and Vicario caught, but we were in again here. Wan-Bissaka cuts it back, deflects off Porro, and that'll be another corner for Manchester United. It's been corners galore, and that's because both teams are trying to go wide. You know, that's where their danger is for both. You've got Tottenham on the right side with Porro and Johnson. You've got their left side with Werner and Udogie, and then Manchester United, you've got Wan-Bissaka and Rashford on the left. Dallo, Garnacho on the right, so they're working it wide a lot, getting crosses in. A lot of those crosses are being deflected for corners. And I think this is the 8th corner of the game. I think it's 4 each for corners. In-swinger from Fernandes, near post, flicked on by Dallo, comes off Bentancur, over to Porro, slams that away. Headed back forward by Ericsson, headed forward by Bentancur for Tottenham, controlled by Ericsson, played out to the right-hand side by the Dane, who finds Garnacho, who brings it down, back towards goal, goes down under the challenge of Udogie, but goes down too easily there. And that'll be a ball which Tottenham can keep inside their own half in the midfield with Højbjerg. Asks of too much of himself there. Can't get away from Mainu, Ericsson and Dallo. And loses the ball in the end there. The former Southampton midfielder. And out to the left it goes to Rashford in the final third. He wants to enter that box. He's running at Porro with speed. On the byline. He can't cut it back though. Just ran out of room there. He was seen behind by the Spanish right back. But like I say, Rashford looking a lot more lively than he ever did on Monday. I mean, Garnacho's not got a bad shout for a penalty. I just don't think there's enough contact. He's definitely been held around the waist by Udogie. And I'm surprised the Italians done that, because with VAR and refereeing decisions, you don't know if they'll go against you or for you these days. Werner, midway inside the United half, near side, ball through to Richarlison. He's drifted out to the left. Can't get away from Dallo, goes over the ball. And Johnny Evans can get there ahead of him and go into Dallo. He quickly gets the ball away, but only as far as Højbjerg in the Manchester United half, so the pressure will continue. Porro looking for Johnson, finds him. Wan-Bissaka's coming over to meet him. Keeps it with Højbjerg. Still in the United half. Bentancur can't get on the end of the Højbjerg pass. Intercepted by Wan-Bissaka. Mainu hurries it forward. Needs to relax there maybe. Go straight through for Vicario, who's got forward to just keep the ball moving for Tottenham Hotspur. Then a ball out to the right by Tottenham. Goes out of play for a throw-in for the home side. back with Anana in the 18-yard box. Charleston's slowly getting closer, but he goes to right centre-back Evans. Looks for Garnacho. Can't take it under control ahead of Højbjerg. Drops eventually to Bentancur. Again, we're in the Manchester United half. It's where the majority of the game is getting played at the minute. Porro, edge of the area. Tries to switch out towards Werner on the left. It's chested back to Anana by Dallo. Very calm defending. And now Fernandes sends Garnacho down the right-hand side. He will chase it ahead of Udogie. But the full-back will get there first. And he'll play it back to his Italian teammate, Vicario. He will go back now with the ball. After receiving it from Romero, Bentancur back to Romero in the 18-yard box. Beats the press of Rashford with a pass forward to Pedro Porro. And then into the space for Johnson. Then that's a lot of space. He'll cross it first time. He's overhit it. Werner went more inside the box and not to the far post. It's gone all the way through. And it's picked up by Werner on the far side. A couple of 1-2s here with Højbjerg to keep the ball moving. And it's now with Udogie. Manchester United camped inside their own half. Van de Ven on the halfway. Højbjerg. Again, all Manchester United players currently behind the ball. It has been all Tottenham pretty much since the United goal in the 3rd minute. It's been a very dominant away display from Tottenham, who have it in their own half with number 17, Christian Romero, who had missed the last 3 games of a hamstring injury, but he returns today, and they've got FA Cup action next in 2 weeks on a Friday night. Tottenham facing Manchester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and then they've got Brentford a couple of days after at home, and then they've got a difficult trip at the start of February to Everton. Tottenham just settled on the ball, just passing it around inside their own half now. Bentancur tries to go forward, but it's a loose one. Picked up by Eriksson, but he can't keep it. Tackled from behind by Richarlison. And Tottenham are on it again. Skip. Just the 1 goal for Oliver Skip in his Tottenham career in his previous 98 games. And that was a home win against Chelsea, which came last season in February. It was a 2-0 win. Still Tottenham just enjoying possession in their own half at the moment, with Van de Ven forced to go backwards as he's being closed down here by Højlund, and Van de Ven overruns it. Højlund takes it off him and plays it through into the area. Bruno Fernandes tackled quickly, and it had to be done by Bentancur, but Van de Ven needs to be careful. But Vicario wants a counter-attack, throws it out to Porro. Furthest right, here's Brennan Johnson, midway side the Manchester United half. He's got Wan-Bissaka to run at. Porro's making a run. He'll go on the inside instead here. Brennan Johnson finds Udogie, who's coming to a central midfield position here, the full-back, and curls it out wide left here to Werner, who's just been forced out wide there with a poor touch, but he gets it back inside to Udogie. Now Højbjerg, only player in front of the ball. The only player who's not behind the ball for Manchester United was Rasmus Højlund then. As Udogie goes back to the halfway line to Van de Ven, who's only got the 1 goal so far for Tottenham. And that came against Luton in early October in the 1-0 victory they picked up. Werner, final third, near side, doubled up on, with Garnacho and Dallo closest to him. Completes a 1-2 of Oliver Skip, and it's back with Werner again. Just slowed the pace down a bit. The game was very free-flowing, but the last 5 minutes just slowed down slightly, but Tottenham won't mind because they've still got the ball. They're just playing it around like they're at home almost. And Postecoglou's team. Richarlison, first time ball around the corner, can't find Porro, cut out by Eriksson, dropped straight back though for Romero, and Tottenham will come again. United need to make this ball stick. Skip out wide right to Johnson, first time pass intercepted, can't find Porro, but then he picks up the loose ball from Mainu. And again, Tottenham are on the ball. They're on halfway line with Van de Ven. Højbjerg in the centre circle, keeping it away from Eriksson and lifting it over here to Porro. I think Johnson had just strayed onside, but Porro's kept it and he switches it out to the left. Werner's all on his own inside the area in the corner of the box. He plays it forward to Udogie, cut back, deflects off Evans, drops to Dallo, plays it down the line to Garnacho, who's having to turn backwards towards his own goal. Finds Dallo in the right back area, who goes inside to Eriksson and switches it out to the left to Rashford, who will turn forward, dribble into the Tottenham half. He's got Bruno Fernandes making a run down the line, but Rashford will not use it. He'll cross it instead towards Højlund on his own. It had to be headed away by Udogie, but he's headed off the post. Højlund in the area, on the right side, on his left foot. Tries to go towards Eriksson, but Richarlison got back well to clear. That was nearly a serious error from Destiny Udogie. Rashford with his right foot went for the early cross. It went over the head of Højlund, but Garnacho was coming in from behind. So Udogie knew he had to deal with it, and he looked like he was heading it behind for a corner, which would have been good defending, but he's rattled it off the post. And United still come forward. Rashford again with an early cross towards Bruno Fernandes at the near post. Just goes beyond Bruno Fernandes, and that will remain 1-1. What a chance that is. Rashford on the left, cutting inside again on the right foot. Decided to go for an early cross. Højlund had just strayed offside, and I think Garnacho had as well. But Højlund nearly saw the ball rattle the net when instead it rattled the post off Udogie's header. Very, very lucky there, the Italian fullback. United to come forward. Johnny Evans in the midfield position. Lays it off for Højlund. Needs to get players out wide here. And they've found Fernandes. Edge at the box to Rashford. Through to Højlund. Wants the 1-2. Rashford with the shot! And Manchester United, after minutes of having their backs against the walls, they now lead again. Marcus Rashford doing Marcus Rashford things. We know how good he can be when he's on it. And he's been on it today for me. I think he's been impressive. And he scored 5 minutes before the break. It's his 4th of the Premier League. They've all come in 4 different months. He got a goal against Arsenal in September, Everton in November, Forest in December, and now Spurs in January. Johnny Evans picking up that ball, playing it to Højlund, who was almost in a Bruno Fernandes position, and it was Bruno Fernandes who played it out wide left to Rashford, edge of the box, played it through for Højlund, who then got the return to Rashford, who got away from Porro and got the shot in ahead of Van de Ven, who was coming over to try and block the shot, went through his legs instead and just slotted it to the far corner. Away from Vicario, who was diving, but it was just too well placed into that bottom right corner. It's a fantastic finish from Marcus Rashford. And for Manchester United, that is Rashford's 80th goal in the Premier League. It's his 127th altogether for Manchester United. And the Red Devils lead by 2-1. I am very surprised they've taken the lead there. Tottenham was so far on top for the last 5-10 minutes or so. As there is Wayne Rooney in the crowd, obviously recently let go from Birmingham City after a very, very poor stint as the manager there. And literally, after being starved of any attacks, Manchester United, they score with their first in a very long time. Ange Postecoglou will be very frustrated there, but Johnny Evans did so well to win it in the midfield and get the ball moving, where Manchester United eventually worked it to Rashford, who completed the 1-2 with Højlund, and then next thing you know, the ball's in the back of the net. And for Marcus Rashford, that is his 6th goal in 16 against Tottenham Hotspur. 2 of them have come at home, and they both came in a brace in a 2-1 win in the 2019-2020 season. So we restart again, and we go back to the pattern of play we had before that Manchester United attack, where it's Tottenham camped in the United half with the possession. And it just shows when you're Manchester United and you have to set up like this at home, when you do get the attacks, you need to keep the crowd on side and score your chances, and that's what they've done as a ball through there towards Skip in the area. Should be seen through for a goal kick by Dalot, and it is. It's a goal kick for Manchester United, as this result would boost them up to 7th. They would be 6 points off the top 4, as currently Arsenal take up that 4th spot with 40 points. Goal kick from Onana out towards the United right, kept in by Garnacho just inside his own half. Finds Dalot, wants to go over the top and in behind. Fernandes will get on it, flag stays down. Van de Ven's on him, he goes across to Højlund, needs to go one more to Rashford. He's all on his own, on the far post, chops onto his right, and then tackled by Bentancur, still alive. Wan-Bissaka in the area now. Finds Rashford again. Tottenham have got plenty of bodies back. It's Mainu. Out to the left to Wan-Bissaka. Rashford has just drifted offside as Wan-Bissaka does find Mainu. Then down the line for Rashford. He's now onside. Can't find Garnacho, though, who'd come across to the left-hand side. It's now with Fernandes, though. Tottenham, bad giveaway of possession, but Garnacho can't control it. Taken away by Romero, who will go inside to Porro in the 18-yard box. Then out wide right here to Brennan Johnson. Controls it well. Keeps it in. He's got Rashford on his back here. And he flicks it off Fernandes. And that'll be a throw-in on the far side for Tottenham. Rashford did well there to chop back onto his right foot, making Porro slide away. But it was Bentancur who was able to cover him and stop Rashford having the shot on goal. From the throw-in, Wan-Bissaka heads forward, headed inside by Fernandes, dealt with by Romero, away from Højlund. Skip. Oh, sends a ball out to the left to Werner. That is beautiful from Skip. Werner, one-on-one with Dalot, in the box, takes on his left foot and he drags it wide. That isn't good enough from Timo Werner, and he knows it. That's got to be going on target. It was so well worked from Oliver Skip to have the vision, to look up, see Werner in all that space, and get the pass off with that technique, getting over the ball, keeping it down, and straight into the path of Werner, who entered the box on the left-hand side. He was shown onto his left foot by Dalot, and he was allowed to shoot. But like I say, that's just poor. Too far wide. He's got to be working on Arna at least there. Timo Werner, who's only made the 14 appearances this season for RB Leipzig, had scored twice, both in the Bundesliga against Köln in late October, but he's only started 4 games so far this season, hence why he's been let go by RB Leipzig, as Garnacho in the box, tackled by Udogie, keeps it away from Skip though. Fernandes, ball in the box, it's hooked away over his head by Porro, and it'll be let through by Rashford for a throw-in for Manchester United as we've hit the 45th minute, and we're going to get 3 minutes of added on time here. Thrown into Mainu, who's in the left wing position here, towards the corner flag. He's been tackled there by Brennan Johnson, and that will go for a corner. Well, won that by Mainu. Was a little bit trapped in towards that corner flag. Ball goes in near post. It was flipped on by Varane. Then off the head of Van der Ven. Eventually falls to Garnacho on the far post. Lays off for Bruno Fernandes, who takes it on first time. And that goes so far over the bar. And it will be a goal kick for Manchester United to have to defend against now. It's Tottenham's ball from the back. Now on the halfway line with Bentancur on the far side, goes to his left to Højbjerg, then forward to Brennan Johnson. Porro's forward from right back. He goes for an early cross, gets it off Varane. Corner kick for Tottenham before the half-time break. It's where they got their first equaliser from Tottenham. From the corner position on the near side. This one's going to be on the far side now. Porro assisted the first and Richarlison scored it. He might assist the second, but who will score it? Pedro Porro, once again. Outswinger, right into the danger area off the bar. Needs to be dealt with, still alive. Skip tries to shoot, deflects away. Edge of the area. Højbjerg switches it back out to Porro on the right. Controls it. Onto his left foot. He works the cross in, headed away by Mainu. Chested by Højbjerg, shot by Højbjerg, and he drags it wide. No corner given, goal kick. But Christian Romero coming ever so close to his 4th Premier League goal. Again, he got away from Mainu, and literally 4 yards out, he's absolutely smashed the crossbar with his header. Such a good ball from Pedro Porro. He is frightening with those crosses, the right back. And Romero should score from so close. The fact he's not been able to keep that down and he's hit the crossbar is not good enough. He needs to be scoring there. That would have been his 4th goal of the season. It would have been his 3rd away from home. as United launched the goal kick forward, headed on and headed away by Romero. And a push in the back on Bentancur by Eriksson means Tottenham have got a free kick. And Højlund is just interrupting the flow of the free kick, getting in the way of it. And Højlund's going to be booked. You know, you can't do it anymore. You knew exactly what he was doing, standing over the free kick. So it's a yellow card for the goal scorer of the first goal of the game. So we've played the 3 minutes of added on time. And I'm presuming once this free kick's taken, we might have the referee's whistle. And that is John Brooks today. Højbjerg will chip it out to the right-hand side. It goes beyond Johnson and Wan-Bissaka. And the whistle will be blown here at Old Trafford for Manchester United 2. Tottenham 1. The goal scoring started early through Rasmus Højlund in the 3rd minute. He was able to get an inch of space in the box and he bombed it beyond Vicario into the top left corner. And then from there, Tottenham dominated the possession and they got an equaliser from a corner. Swung in at the near post by Porro, helped onto the far post with the head of Richarlison, making his 6th goal in his 6th game in the Premier League, in his last 6. And that meant it was 1-1 and Tottenham decided to keep dominating the possession. They've had 63% of it, 10 shots, 4 on target, but against the run of play, Manchester United were able to break up the Tottenham possession, get it forward and out wide left to Rashford, edge of the area. He found Højlund and then got the return on the 1-2, entered the box, had the shot to the far post, bottom right corner, couldn't be saved by Vicario. And despite Tottenham domination, Manchester United were able to get back level. And at half-time here at Old Trafford, it is Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. I'm going to go for half-time. If you are here, make sure you like and subscribe and be back for the second half, where it is Manchester United leading Tottenham by 2-1. Hello, we are back for the second half of Manchester United taking on Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. It is currently the home side leading by 2-1. The first from Rasmus Højlund in the 3rd minute, Richarlison equalised from the corner in the 19th, and Rashford regained the lead for Manchester United with 5 minutes to go before half-time. It has been Tottenham dominating the possession and the majority of the big chances, but the two main ones that Manchester United have got, they've taken. And I feel like Ange Postecoglou will be happy with the way his team's played, but very frustrated with the fact they are somehow behind in this one, where they don't win here too often. Tottenham only 4 Premier League away wins against Manchester United. Their first coming back in 2012, and their most recent in 2020 in that 6-1 win. But we've not got a 0-0. We've got goals, which is the main thing. Like I said before, the last 0-0 was in December 2014. This will be Manchester United's 25th win at Old Trafford against Tottenham Hotspur, as Ten Hag has he's managed against Tottenham 5 times previously. Obviously earlier on this season and the 2 last season, but you might also remember that very famous Champions League semi-final leg where it was played in 2018-2019 season, April and May. 3-3 on aggregate, a Lucas Moura away hat-trick. One of the greatest ever Champions League comebacks of all time for me, the way it was done right at the death through Lucas Moura. And I will never forget that game. Ajax went 2-0 up, and obviously they were 3-0 up at half-time on aggregate, and very naively, I turned the game off. I didn't watch the rest, and then I missed a very historic Champions League fixture, so I've learnt to never do that again. But Tottenham won't need such a comeback as that this time around. They're only 1 goal behind, and they've probably been the better team with the ball, but it's about taking your chances. And Manchester United have done just that. They really have done well. There we go. AFCON is underway. Obviously, a lot of these players for these teams are missing, the likes of Yves Bissouma for Tottenham and Pape Sarr as well. And then the Asia Cup, they've got the likes of Heung-min Son missing. But for Manchester United, they'll have Onana gone for a little while as he joins AFCON's team after today's game at Old Trafford. So it will mean Altay Bayındır, the Turkish 6'6" backup goalkeeper for Manchester United, will be getting his debut in their next game, which is in the FA Cup. So it'll be a very in the deep end introduction for Bayındır in terms of English football. He's going to be either playing Eastleigh or Newport first, which won't be what he'll be used to, because obviously Bayındır is a Turkish international goalkeeper, so he's played against the best players in the world. I think he was in net for Turkey's recent win in the last international break in November. Yeah, that 3-2 win against Germany that Turkey picked up. He was in net for that. So, yeah, he'll have to deal with either Eastleigh or Newport first. But the second half of this game will be underway in a minute time. Obviously, right before the break as well, Christian Romero hit the crossbar from literally a couple of yards out. Lost his man of Kobbie Mainoo. A bit of a mismatch anyway. Christian Romero against Kobbie Mainoo for an aerial battle, but it hit the bar and United got away with it, so they won't mind. They'll just know for next time that they need to have a closer eye on Christian Romero. And there is Ange Postecoglou, 58-year-old Australian, formerly a defender when he played previously as a footballer before getting into the coaching world. As Manchester United back on the field, they'll be attacking the Stretford end in this second half. And Tottenham will be attacking towards their away supporters in the corner of the ground on the right-hand side. So it'll be Tottenham to kick us off, kicking left to right. It'll be Manchester United right to left, as I just mentioned, towards that Stretford end, as it's Christian Romero on the ball from kick-off. Vicario out to Romero, forward to Højbjerg. He's got Fernandes on his back and he's been dispossessed by Fernandes. Højlund picks it up, backhills it into the path of Rashford, running at Romero on the outside as he overran it. He has, and it goes for a goal kick for Tottenham. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg being caught out in possession in a bad area for Tottenham. Nearly punished there in the end. As Tottenham try and go back to front as rapid as possible. Skip into Werner, final third, outside the box. He enters the box in the corner, finds Bentancur, who needs to get the shot away, and he does! And he finds the back of the net. A minute into the second half, Rodrigo Bentancur scores for Tottenham. He's had to wait a while. He's had an injury-stricken last couple of years. But now he's back. And he's back scoring for Tottenham. It's his 7th goal for the club. It's his first of this season. And it was a great ball through to Skip on the halfway line, who found Werner just about onside, it seems. He had Dalot showing him inside onto his right foot, where he played it through for Bentancur, who made a great run from deep into the area. As he controlled it well, Bentancur, the touch got him into a bit of space where he just needed to shift it away from Evans, which he did, to allow himself to get the shot at goal, and it goes beyond Onana. There's got to be question marks there. Just that little touch to his left, just to get that space between him and Evans, and he shoots across goal towards the top right corner. It beat Andre Onana in the Manchester United goal. And after a minute of the second half, it's Manchester United 2, Tottenham 2. Rodrigo Bentancur, what a man to score for Tottenham Hotspur. Like I say, he suffered an ACL injury last season where he was out from February to October. He then returned and then got another injury against Aston Villa. But now he's scored a goal and he's given the ball away here. Poor touch from Bentancur, falls to Rashford. Heavy touch, easy tackle for Romero on the edge of the 18-yard box in the end. And Romero is brought down there by Fernandes, and that'll be a free kick midway side of Tottenham half for the away side. Really good run from Bentancur from the midfield to find some space in the box, and I just like the little touch he did away from Evans to allow himself to get the shot off. And Andre Onana concedes his 47th goal in between the sticks for United in his 30th game in all competitions. Just the 6 clean sheets in the league for United, 2 of them coming at home. As Tottenham have delivered exactly what Ange Postecoglou would have wanted, as Richarlison down the right-hand side will get there ahead of Johnny Evans. And he's tackled by the Northern Irish international. And that'll be a throw-in in the final third for Tottenham on the near side. Really good goal that from Rodrigo Bentancur. First of the season. Scored 5 last season in the Premier League before his ACL injury. 5 in 18 Premier League games, 3 of them at home. Pedro Porro throws it into the space for Johnson. He's just over. Oh, and he's got there. Back post. Werner went with a header. Dalot got there ahead of him, nodded it into space, and he's latched onto his own header here, Dalot. I thought that had gone out of play on Johnson, but he kept it in. Dalot still charging away. Out to the right-hand side to Garnacho. It's just too far ahead of him in the end. Pass needed to be better. And out of play it goes for a throw-in for Tottenham. Need to have cleaner counter-attacks there, Manchester United, because Tottenham, despite conceding 2, they've been very good on the ball, keeping the possession. It's Richarlison tackled there by Mainu. And that'll be another Tottenham throw in the exact same position as the one just then. Udogie with the throw-in. It's a longer throw-in up towards the halfway line. Richarlison touches it ahead of Evans into Højbjerg, then forward to Porro. Once more to Rodrigo Bentancur, who goes behind Brennan Johnson. And he will keep it in. He's got Wan-Bissaka close, so goes backwards here to Porro. So Romero on halfway. And 5 minutes into the second half, we've already had the equaliser. It was a minute in through Bentancur charging into the box after getting the ball out wide. From, I believe it was Werner with the assist. Bentancur through to Porro. Is he onside? I'm not too sure. Play will carry on. He squares it through. Werner at the far post. Keeps it in. On the byline. Outside of Dalot. Tries the cross blocked by the Portuguese fullback. And that will be a corner kick for Tottenham on the far side as they look to try and get the lead here. But even with the likes of Heung-min Son and Maddison missing for Tottenham, they are still playing superbly well. It's just defensively where they'll be very disappointed with the way they've conceded their goals. I don't think we need to guess twice who will be over this corner. Goes short though, Porro to Højbjerg. In it goes off the thigh of Evans to the edge of the area to Skip. It's now Udogie. Romero, midway side the Manchester United half. He goes back to the halfway line to Udogie. To the left here to Højbjerg. He's got Garnacho coming towards him. He goes across to the right-hand side to Romero. Forward, in between the lines. Porro flicks on for Skip. On once more to Richarlison. First time, he's going to latch onto it, and it's an easy save in the end for Onana. Tried to go to the far post there, Richarlison, but didn't quite catch it. Well worked, good ball from Romero. Porro first time, Skip turning quickly, finding Richarlison. He wanted his second of the day, but like I say, just didn't catch it. Easy save in the end, down low to Onana's left. Tottenham have already won it back off Fernandes. Højbjerg down the left channel, trying to drive inside, getting away from Mainu, but then again, Fernandes on the recovery, tackled him, and Eriksen's gone for a big switch out to the left, cut out with a header Porro. Brennan Johnson goes back to Romero. And Tottenham have it again inside their own half. It's been a really good performance from Tottenham on the whole. Just the goals they've conceded weren't fantastic. Werner on the outside of Dalot, using a bit of pace and putting it low, and deflects off Evans into the hands of Onana. Using the pace well there, Werner quickly thrown out by Onana. Fernandes has been caught out in possession by Romero, but then Skip's loose ball is picked up by Wan-Bissaka. Forward towards Højlund. It's got to be better. It's got to be so much better from Wan-Bissaka to find Højlund. He goes through for Tottenham in their right back area with Porro. Down the line for Bentancur. He's got Højlund chasing him down. Bentancur didn't run out of room. Keeps it in. He went forward to Richarlison. Then back into Romero. And now it's Mickey van der Ven. He's got 2 appearances for the Netherlands. Off the bench in October. France and Greece obviously wasn't able to get involved in the November international break. Van der Ven due to his injury. That's Højbjerg to Porro. Johnson's down the line and he was onside. I don't know why he's not played him. Had to play him there, Porro. He didn't. And it'll be a throw-in for Tottenham. Thrown back to the halfway line to Romero. And again, Manchester United have been forced to camp inside their own half at home. It's really good play for Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou. He'll be very happy with the way his team's put themselves on display here tonight. Højbjerg on the halfway line. High ball over the top. Johnson will chase it. Wan-Bissaka will get there first in the left back area. Turns towards the corner. Flag. Tackle by Johnson, but then it falls back to Wan-Bissaka, very fortunately. And he played it to his left here to Rashford. Forward. Cut out by Porro towards Højlund. Richarlison gets it. Pulled back from behind by Eriksen. And that will be a free kick for Tottenham. Eriksen smiling because he 100% knows that was definitely a foul. Richarlison was just able to get the ball in front of him and get himself between man and ball, and Eriksen pulled him down. So Pedro Porro this time on the right-hand side. It's almost like an angle you'd work from a short corner. It's one of them where it's probably the perfect angle for a cross. And it'll be Pedro Porro to deliver it with pace. It's a whipper. And it's a header away from Bruno Fernandes. And that'll be a corner this time on that near side for Tottenham. And Porro will take it again. He's already got an assist from a corner. He should have had 2 assists from a corner. Richarlison headed one in, and then Romero hit the bar of another. But a chance for Tottenham to take the lead in this game at Old Trafford. It'd be the first time they would go ahead in the game. They've been behind twice. They've come back twice. Porro, right-footed. In it goes. Header won by Evans. Flicked on by Garnacho. Goes as far as Højbjerg on the opposite side here. And he'll keep the ball in. He's got options backwards, forwards, and to the both sides. He goes backwards to Udogie. And then backwards once more here to Vicario on the edge of the 18-yard box for Tottenham. Full blue strip tonight, Vicario. Who sends it long. Up towards Brennan Johnson. Header won by Varane. Porro wants to win it in the midfield, but he can't ahead of Eriksson, who scoops it forward for Højlund, who is offside, and the flag goes up against the former Atalanta striker, Rasmus Højlund, who did say when joining the club that I want to bleed for this jersey. He wants to give everything to Manchester United, and you can't say the effort's not been there when he's played, just the goal scoring hasn't. And that's the most important thing for a Manchester United striker. You've got to be scoring the goals. Bentancur in a right wing position. Tackle by Eriksson. Last touch off the Dane. And that'll be a throw-in for Tottenham. As the away side have had almost 80% of the ball here in the second half. Shows exactly the style of play that Ange Postecoglou wants to instill into this Tottenham side. Thrown by Porro towards Richarlison in the area. Gets away from Varane. Tries the cross. It blocked by the Frenchman. And then seen behind for a corner. It's absolute dominance here from Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. It's actually quite impressive to watch. They were not on top in the last game at Old Trafford. Manchester United had 28 shots in that game. Spurs only had 9 with 2 on target. That was in their last trip here in August of 2022. Sorry, in October 2022, sorry. But this time, under a new manager, it's no longer Antonio Conte. It's a different Tottenham side. Porro on the near side. It'll be an outswinger with his right foot. Again, it's got pace on it, and it's a header by Evans, and it will go for a corner once again. I'm sure Manchester United will hate conceding these corners. Yeah, there's only been one away win in the last 4 for Tottenham in the league. They lost to Wolves, drew to City, beat Forest, but then lost to Brighton. So on their travels, they haven't been that great in terms of results as Porro goes to the far post. Werner on his own with the volley. Over the bar it goes. He possibly could have controlled that, Timo Werner. I don't think he realised the amount of space he had in the box, so he tried to take it on first time. It was just slightly behind him as well, so he's had to get around it. It's not the worst attempt in the world, but I feel like he could have definitely maybe took a touch. As Manchester United are going to make a change. Erik ten Hag wants to see something different, and he's replaced former Spurs man Christian Eriksen with number 39, Scott McTominay, who has not started any of the last 3 now in the Premier League for Manchester United. He's off the bench again. His only ever defeat in this fixture was that 6-1 defeat in 2020 at Old Trafford. So Wan-Bissaka forward down the left channel for Højlund. He's got Rashford near him, but Højlund's going to get away from Van de Ven. Final third, outside the area, pulls it across, and Udogie takes it away from the hands of Vicario and clears it for a corner. And Højlund's getting the Manchester United crowd up for it. Good striker play, just went through beyond the halfway line. Down the left-hand side, a nice little touch away from Van de Ven, and it was a decent cut back. Vicario read it, but Udogie took no chances and just cleared it away, even though Vicario was ready to collect that one. But it was a nice flick, though, by Højlund to get away from Van de Ven, who we know is absolutely rapid. Fernandes, in it goes, far post, no one's there. Absolutely no one's there to attack it. Goes straight behind for a goal kick for Tottenham. Romero across the 18-yard box here to Van de Ven. He's got Højlund quickly chasing him, but he releases it high, and it's away from Werner, headed forward by Dalot, headed out wide though by Udogie, kept in by Werner, plays it inside into the space. What a ball that is. Højbjerg running with determination. He's been tackled by McTominay, but the ball drops to Bentancur. Fired out wide right to Johnson, whose low ball is cut out by Wan-Bissaka. Another corner for Tottenham. Højbjerg just stayed down there after the challenge as he was racing forward with the ball. But this corner count is ridiculous. I think this is corner number 13 in the game. It was a fair challenge from McTominay, by the way. Got the ball cleanly. Maybe a little bit of a follow through, but nothing for a free kick. Thanks to everyone who's here. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Next commentary coming up is Derby against Burton tomorrow. As Porro puts another outswinger in. It's another header won by Varane on the edge of the 6-yard box. Still on the Tottenham right with Udogie. Back into Porro. Bentancur's made a run down the line. They find him. Bentancur lifts it into the near post. Easy catch for Onana, who wants a counter-attack. He hasn't got the options for it, so keeps a hold of the ball instead and rolls it out to Varane. And plays it out wide left here to Wan-Bissaka. Inside to Mainu. Got Richarlison chasing him down, but he keeps it away from him and fires it to the right to Garnacho, just inside the United half. He goes back into Dalot at right back. Taking on Werner. Does it beautifully, and the pass is even better into the space for Garnacho, but that is one hell of a slide tackle from Van de Ven to keep it away from Garnacho. And that'll be a throw-in for the home side. That was a needed slide tackle. He had to get that right because Garnacho was away and in behind. But that 6'4" build of Van de Ven getting those long legs across to slide tackle the ball. Wan-Bissaka. Forward to Fernandes, first time touch, deflects back into Wan-Bissaka. It's an unconventional 1-2, slide tackle off Van de Ven, drops to McTominay. Oh, it's just wide. Aiming towards the bottom left corner, he just dragged it. The Scotsman, Manchester United's leading goal scorer this season in the Premier League with 5. 4 of them have come at home, and that should have been a 5th at home. Needs to get that on target, really. Just dragging it wide, about a yard or so past the post in the end. Tottenham play from the back. Brennan Johnson ball inside. Richarlison not ready for the pass. Picked up by Varane. Mainu away from the challenge of Højbjerg. He's got Rashford to his right. Overhits the touch. Tackle by Porro. And that'll be a foul going against Kobbie Mainu. As he overhit the touch and Porro got there first. I think he just caught Porro late. Manchester United are going to make a change here. And that makes sense. So number 35, Johnny Evans, 36 years of age, making his 5th Premier League start in a row. It's his 215th Manchester United appearance. He will be replaced by number 6, Lisandro Martinez, the Argentine. He's been out since September with a foot injury. This is only his 7th appearance of the season in all competitions. He played the first 5 league games and then that injury cut his start of the season short. But now he's back for the second half and he's going to get just over half an hour here altogether in the second half against Tottenham as Garnacho controls it well with his head into his feet. Dallow's overlapping, feeds him in the final third, lifts across. It's too easy, hung in the air there, and it was an easy catch for Vicario. Højlund, Fernandes and Rashford had all made runs as well in the box. Not a great ball from Diogo Dalot. Højbjerg to Werner on halfway. On the far side, Udogie's making a run forward. Varane's followed it. Skip. Højbjerg, midway side Tottenham half now with Van de Ven, who came through the Voldam youth system in the Netherlands. Spent a year at Wolfsburg before making the move for just over £40 million plus the add-ons from Wolfsburg to Tottenham Hotspur. With Vicario on the edge of the 18-yard box. Tottenham again just getting in their flow of possession like they have been for the majority of the game, really. It's been fascinating to watch. Bentancur. Oh, it's a great ball down the line. The weight is brilliant. Into Brennan Johnson, who will keep it in on this near side. He's one-on-one Wan-Bissaka onto his right foot, over, hits the cross. Wow, that was a heavy hit. And Garnacho can't see it through for a throw-in. Kept in by Udogie, who will charge forward. Goes down over the challenge. Won back by Skip. Richarlison can't get through Dalot and Varane. And the right back will eventually clear it down the line. Udogie went down from behind under the challenge of Garnacho. And nothing was given. It was well kept in by Udogie to get around Garnacho. Let's have a look here. No, he goes over looking for it there, Udogie. He knows what he's doing. Good referee in there by John Brooks. Yeah, no contact. He wanted the contact, he was waiting for it, but none came. And United have won it back now through McTominay. Fernandes first time to Højlund. Rashford's in behind. Is he onside? God, that's going to be close, but continue. We will with the play. Rashford in the box. Wants to get onto his right foot. Stopped by Porro, then by Romero. And that'll be a Tottenham ball. And Romero's dribbling out with it. Goes forward to Richarlison. Back heels it in towards Skip, who can't get there ahead of Varane. But he blocks his clearance, so the ball will roll out to Werner. But he kicks it out of play here as there is Destiny Udogie, who has stayed down here for Tottenham Hotspur. Decent counter-attack that from Manchester United, winning it strong on Udogie. And Højlund sent that ball through. And I think he just about played it whilst Marcus Rashford was inside the Manchester United half. And obviously we know if you're in your own half, then you cannot be offside. But I think it would have been close anyway, because we know how high Tottenham's line is. And there's no foul there on Udogie, by the way. Scott McTominay, we know he can be an aggressive midfielder. But unless he's maybe twisted it, I don't know. But Scott McTominay, for me, from seeing it, he got the ball pretty fairly. Winning the ball and setting Manchester United off on the counter-attack. Just going to get a bit of a pause in play here for Destiny Udogie. There's Erik ten Hag, just having a little discussion there with Marcus Rashford, who's got a goal tonight. It's his 4th of the season. They've all come in the Premier League and in all competitions last year at this moment in the season. He had 16, so he's 12 goals less than what he had last season at this stage. So obviously he's had a drop-off, but hopefully he can pick it back up now at the start of 2024. So back underway. Don't think Udogie's back on yet. Skip's covering at left back. Højbjerg plays out of play. And Udogie is waiting to be called back on by the referee. But Udogie doesn't look comfortable. Like I say, I definitely believe that McTominay got the ball. Obviously, he might have just twisted something as he landed, or there might have been a slight little nick, but he got the ball well for me. As Udogie's now been allowed back on. 23 minutes left to go. Here is Martinez. Ball through towards Fernandes, touches it out to Wan-Bissaka, who goes inside, keeps it away from Brennan Johnson, finds Kobbie Mainoo. Furthest left is Rashford, he's got everything to his right, plays it through. Fernandes dummies, picked up on the edge of the box by Højbjerg. Porro inside to Bentancur, who goes back here to Mickey van der Ven, who's got loads of time here on the ball, and he goes across to the right back area where it's Højbjerg currently in that position. Plays it forward, and he just about gets through to Porro, beyond Marcus Rashford. What a ball that is, out to the left of Werner in the final third. He's going to enter the box here. One-on-one with Dalot, onto his left foot, tries to square it, blocked by Dalot. It's another corner for Tottenham. They have had plenty of set pieces, especially corners, Tottenham Hotspur tonight. It's been absolutely crazy. I think this is going to be their 11th corner. So if you've had a bet and you put corners on, then you're in dreamland. 11 corners for Tottenham now. It's the 17th in the game between them all, between both teams. Absolutely crazy. As there'll be an in-swinger from Porro into the 6-yard box. Header won by McTominay. Falls to the edge of the area to Skip, who shoots it, blocked away. And it will go for a Manchester United corner. I think it came off Højlund there in the... No, McTominay, I can't see. The camera angle was up in the sky. It was a decent hit by Skip. He connected with it well, but there was so many bodies in the box that it came off a Manchester United player. It's another cut. It's 12 corners now for Tottenham in this game. As I mentioned before, they have scored from one through Richarlison. In it goes. Again, flicked onto the far post. It drops to Varane and not Werner. He can hurry it away. It's a bit of a slice clearance. Højbjerg keeps it for Tottenham, even though Garnacho is close, but Højbjerg loses his footing, and that's a Manchester United throw-in. And they want to take it quickly, and they can't, because Garnacho has been told to go back to take it. And they'll just drop it in the end and leave it for Diogo Dalot to take. They throw it back midway inside the Manchester United half of Kobbie Mainoo. Goes across here to Varane. Here's Kobbie Mainoo again, just in between Varane and Dalot. And he'll play a high ball forward, down the line. Garnacho will chase it. It's deep into the Tottenham half now, towards the corner flag. Adogi's trying to see the ball out of play. And he will do so for a throw-in, which he takes quickly. Down the line, Werner kicks off McTominay, back into Werner, who will then eventually find Højbjerg. Goes across here to Romero. He will drive forward with it. Out wide right it goes here to Porro. Bentancur, first time ball to Johnson. Martinez will get there first and gets it through the legs of Brennan Johnson. And then eventually on the cover, Brennan Johnson is able to kick the ball out of play for a throw-in in a defensive third here. So Manchester United need to be careful. They don't want to give the ball away here. It'll be a bad position to allow Tottenham to have pretty much a free attack if they give it to them. Wan-Bissaka throws down the line, goes over Højlund's head, and it can be picked up on halfway by Romero. Finds Van der Ven in the centre circle. Less than 20 minutes to go, plus any added on time. We haven't had a team. Well, the last time these two teams met... Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. We haven't had a draw between these two at Old Trafford for a very long time. We haven't had a draw in this fixture at Old Trafford since 2005. So we do usually get a winner. Will we get one today? The last 17 Premier League games between these two have ended with a winner. 13 of the 17 times it's been Manchester United. Bentancur, backheel flick, cut out by Rashford. Ball eventually drops McTominay back on the edge of the box with Martinez. Out to the left to Mainoo. Keeps it in play on the near side. Over hits the touch. Tackled by Johnson. Loose ball cleared by Martinez. Helped on by Rashford towards Højlund. But he was coming back from an offside position. So it'll be a free kick for Tottenham and not Rashford, despite going down under the challenge. So Rashford has stayed down here as he was met by a challenge as he was coming back from an offside position. He's back to his feet and he'll be okay to continue, Marcus Rashford. It's Romero to take it just before the halfway line. Shows how high the Tottenham line is. They were pretty much on the halfway line. As Romero will leave it for Bentancur to take. Not quite sure what's happened here. Tottenham wanted to take it. John Brooks wanted them to take it quicker. And then they did take it. Then John Brooks had blew the whistle to try and tell them to take it quicker. So eventually they've had to go all the way back to take it again. Bit of a mix-up there, but we're back on the way. Vicario with loads of time on the ball. Goes out to the right to Romero. Still in the Tottenham half here. Forward it goes to Brennan Johnson. Lays it off into Højbjerg in the centre circle. Overhits the touch. Picked up by Garnacho. McTominay out to the left to Rashford. No, it's Fernandes. First time ball through towards Garnacho. Will it reach him? It nearly did. Picked up by Vicario in the end. And he rolls it out to the left back, Adogi. Now it's with Van der Ven on the edge of the box. First time ball there from Fernandes. If that had gone through into Garnacho, that would have been one of the passes of the weekend, maybe of the season, the way he's just seen that ball straight away. Højbjerg for Tottenham. Going out towards the right-hand side, finding Bentancur, the goal scorer of the second Tottenham goal, a minute into the second half. Ball down the line though, Wan-Bissaka, poor touch inside, picked up there by Skip. Porro for Richarlison, turns away from Martinez and finds Brennan Johnson. Then goes into Porro on halfway. Then into the Tottenham half with Højbjerg. Forward to Bentancur, allowed to look forward and play it out to the right to Skip. Through to Johnson, gets away from Wan-Bissaka. Johnson, ball into the box, easy catch for Onana in the end. I think he was aiming for Richarlison towards the far post, but the accuracy wasn't there from Brennan Johnson. He still just needs to improve on his final product. He's got the pace and the skill and the foul there on Wan-Bissaka. But just that final third with his final pass or the final cross or the shot just isn't quite there every time for Brennan Johnson. But it will come. But he has never, ever not lost against Manchester United, Brennan Johnson. He's played them 5 times and he's been beat 5 times. So a draw against them would probably be a good result for him. As United go long, one back by Højbjerg, Werner on the left, inside the Tottenham half. He goes inside to Udogie, and now finds Bentancur in the midfield. Lifts it through to Porro in the centre circle. His body's over here, and he plays it through for Richarlison that's so overhit. And Onana will get the ball at the byline. Doesn't want to concede the goal kick there, wants to keep the ball moving. It's now Scott McTominay in the Manchester United half. 15 minutes left to play. Wan-Bissaka, who's had to play left back tonight. Obviously a tactical tweak from Ten Hag as Rashford goes over the top into the area. Højlund tries to bring it down. He just can't quite do so. Ahead of Vicario, who's quickly off his line to collect the ball. Højbjerg turning forward away from Fernandes, faking the pass out wide and then playing it through for Werner. That's a great pass. Werner in behind once again, but he was offside as it was played. I didn't think he was offside. I mean, I've got no idea, but I thought he timed it well there. Højbjerg with the pass through. Yeah, Werner, I think, just gone early there. Just needs to time his run. We know Werner doesn't mind the offside flag going up. He was caught offside quite regularly when he was at Chelsea. Still remains 2-2. This will be the 14th draw between these two in the Premier League. Wan-Bissaka finds Mainu, bit of a short, well, not short, took a bit too long to make the pass there, and it was cut out by Højbjerg. That goes out for a throw-in on the near side for Manchester United. But then Wan-Bissaka off the return pass from Martinez, can't keep it in play. It's now a throw-in for Tottenham instead. Still waiting for this throw-in to be taken here by Pedro Porro. Throws it forward for Richarlison. Met by Martinez. Fair challenge as the referee. Drops to Varane in the 18-yard box. Scoops it and curls it out to the right to Dalot, who's got loads of room to run into now for Manchester United. And he finds Garnacho midway side the Tottenham half. He's sprinting forward. He's got Udogie isolated one-on-one. Goes on the outside and works the cross all the way through, and it has to be touched behind for a corner. Pedro Porro got that last touch in the end. Played out from the back, Varane to Dalot, Dalot to Garnacho, then Garnacho for a corner as he was aiming for Højlund in the 6-yard area. And it'll be Bruno Fernandes on the near side. It's been all Tottenham, but can they put another dagger in the Tottenham hearts? They clip it out to the edge of the box to Garnacho, who can't hit the volley. It's gone way too high for him. And he's got now Udogie on that right-hand side. And he's trying to beat him here. Garnacho, he can't do so. He wins the ball there. Udogie. It's a really good piece of defending from the Italian. It's now Højbjerg on the edge of the box. Pedro Porro. High ball towards Brennan Johnson, who touches it in front of him nicely. But then Onana's the one to meet it on first in the box. Nice bit of skill from Johnson to get away from Mainu, who was covering at the back. Switch out by Dalot to the left to Fernandes. Almost playing as a left winger at the minute, Bruno Fernandes. He goes inside to Rashford. He's got Romero going in aggressively, but fairly. And Romero wins it back for Tottenham. Bentancur controls in a right-back position and he gives it away. Fernandes was on his case and he crosses to the far post where Udogie has to nod behind for a corner. Really well won back there by Fernandes because Romero had done a good job for Tottenham to win the ball as well. And he was aggressive in the press to get the ball off Rodrigo Bentancur. Like I say, I think it'd be a very unfortunate and a very undeserving loss for Tottenham if they don't come away with anything today. But the cross goes in from the corner towards McTominay. Foul in the process of the corner. And Richarlison's the man down. It was near towards McTominay, but it'd gone beyond him instead. Richarlison actually did well to flick the ball away with his head. and then was just caught from behind there by McTominay, who he took the ball away from. So, on his Chelsea debut, on his Chelsea debut, Timo Werner is replaced after 80 minutes. He did collect an assist for the Rodrigo Bentancur goal at the start of the second half. He's going to be replaced by Bryan Gil, the Spaniard, who is still yet to score for Tottenham since joining from Sevilla in July of 2021. He's been on a loan in Valencia and Sevilla since he left. So he hasn't really come up with the goals, but he might be coming up with an assist there. Nearly played it through to Richarlison in behind, but it comes off Dalot for a throw-in for Tottenham midway inside the Manchester United half on the far side. Thrown to Richarlison. His pass goes behind Bentancur, straight to the feet of Rashford. Out to the right to Garnacho. Nice touch inside and away from Porro, and playing it through to Rashford. His touch is well too heavy. Straight into the hands of Guillermo Vicario. And it's Tottenham back in possession once again. Not had many huge chances for Tottenham, even though they're still trying to dominate the ball. They are still struggling to really work Onana in the last 5 minutes or so. Midway inside the Tottenham half, it's Van de Ven. A point for Tottenham would put them on 40 points. They'd be level with Arsenal, who are fourth at the moment, who haven't played this weekend. Bentancur forward into the United half with Skip. Out to the right to Brennan Johnson. Skip is forward. He doesn't use him. Goes on the inside and shoots with the left foot. It deflects across towards Hill. Tackled strongly by Dalot, who's able to clear it up towards Garnacho. Chests it ahead of Udogie. Keeps it away from Udogie for now and kicks it off him for a throw-in. Good work there from Alejandro Garnacho to ease the pressure there as Tottenham were getting forward. As it looks like we're going to get a Tottenham debut here. You've got to remember, Mickey van der Ven is coming back from an injury that's kept him out since November the 6th. So I think Mickey van der Ven might be replaced here with their new signing, Radu Dragizin. As Tottenham won it back deep. Ball through to Bryan Gil. It deflects and it will be seen through for a corner. Richarlison was the one on the ball. He was tackled by a Manchester United player and deflected through for a corner. Bryan Gil let it go. They've been so threatening from these set pieces. Can they do so again? The ball drops in the box, poked away by Mainu, then helped away on the edge of the box, up towards the halfway line for Udogie. He doesn't need to go backwards. He's got loads of time in the centre circle. He goes out to the left here to Bentancur. Then across just before the halfway line here with Højbjerg. Out to the right to Hill. Back into Højbjerg on halfway. Hill again. Inside pass. Porro misplaces it, looking for Johnson. It's now with Rashford again. Turns away from Porro. Goes back to Martinez. And back into Onana. In the 18-yard box, Richarlison's chasing him. But it goes to the right here to Dalot. And then forward to McTominay. He's got Skip coming over to try and tackle him, but he lays it off to Garnacho in the Tottenham half. Dribbling away from Højbjerg. Garnacho with the switch ball out to the left. It's straight into the chest of Rashford, who's looking forward. Wan-Bissaka's overlapping as the option. He gets beyond one tackle and the second, and it will be a free kick. Porro brings down Rashford. The Spaniard doesn't believe the referee is right with his decision. He got away from Johnson there, Rashford, and then Porro came in. I don't think there's a lot of contact in that. I don't think that's a free kick. No, Rashford's just gone down. There's no way that's a free kick. That has been bought. And the rest. It's near the penalty spot. That's near the white line. So really, should give a penalty. But that's not even a foul for me. No way that's a foul. Rashford's just gone down too easily. And it looks like it's going to be a bit more of a defensive change from Ange Postecoglou. We're going to get a debut for Radu Dragizin. the new January signing from Genoa, for £26.7 million. So it looks like Tottenham are going to go to a 3 at the back, maybe, with Dragusin, Van der Ven, and Romero as the 3 centre-backs on the pitch. Right outside the area, on the left-hand side of the box. It's a tight angle for Fernandes, but he might fancy having a little pop at this. Having a shot, maybe. Tottenham have got a 2-man wall of Porro and Hill. Fernandes will take it, and he'll hit it off Porro's face, and he'll go through to the opposite side, and it'll roll for a throw-in right next to the corner flag on the far side. Dalot throws it backwards here to Mainu. Just about gets it across to Martinez. He's got Bentancur pressing him. Works it back to Mainu. Then lifts it out wide right to Dalot. That was well played there by Mainu and Martinez. Dalot, early cross in towards Fernandes. It bounces into the hands of Vicario. Vicario rolls it out to the edge of the box here to Van der Ven. Back to Vicario. 4 minutes left to play here at Old Trafford. Dragusin. Down the line it goes. Finds Porro. Driving away from Rashford. Mainu and Højlund. What a run that is from Porro. Finding Højbjerg. Forward it goes. It gets beyond Garnacho. Finds Udogie. Out to the left to Hill. In the final third. Richarlison at the near post. It goes behind him and it's cleared by Wan-Bissaka. Needs to be a better delivery by Bryan Hill. As Van der Ven heads away from Garnacho. Højbjerg controlling it and keeping it away from Fernandes, sorry. As we're going to get a stoppage in play here. And Van der Ven, I think, saying cramp there. I'm surprised he didn't bring off Van der Ven for Dragusin just before. Because it looked like that Van der Ven was struggling. Obviously, it's his first full 90 back after that injury against Chelsea in early November. But he decided to bring off Skip instead and go with 3 central defenders on the pitch. As Marcus Rashford is going to come off here with 3 minutes to play for Antony. He got the second goal, Rashford, after a 1-2 with Højlund in the box and slotted it into the bottom right corner. It was a very solid Marcus Rashford goal. But just at the end of the second half, he picked up a bit of a knock about 15 minutes ago and it looks like it just affects his performance a little bit. So Ten Hag is going to bring on Antony for Rashford. But the Marcus Rashford attitude didn't look right for the last 15 minutes there. Don't know if it was that little injury that he picked up on the halfway line. I think it's from Romero in the end. Vicario, big kick forward towards Brennan Johnson, headed away by Wan-Bissaka, chested by Richarlison, but the play will go back for a free kick as Brennan Johnson was in an offside position as the ball was played. Varane. Route 1 stuff, he goes long. It's headed down by Van der Ven to Antony on the right wing now for Manchester United. Tries to go down the line towards McTominay, cut out by Udogie in the defensive third for Tottenham. On the far side, kicks off McTominay, throwing for Tottenham. As Van der Ven, I think, is still struggling here with cramp and he's going to be replaced here by Emerson Royal. We know Emerson Royal can do a shift at centre-back. So Mickey Van der Ven returning to the Tottenham starting 11 after his injury. And he's only able to play, I say only, he's played 88 minutes and cramp has meant his game has had to come to an end before the final whistle. Mickey Van der Ven off for Emerson Royal, who can play in that back three that I think they're trying to play here. Tottenham Hotspur, 3 central defenders with the wing-backs of Udogie and Porro. So Emerson Royal is on. Had started the last 3 Premier League games in a row, the Brazilian. As Udogie throws it down the line. Hill loses out to Dalot. Antony to Højlund, tackled and eventually cleared by Hill. All as far as Mainu. Lifts it out wide right. Not kept in there by Antony. The last touch came off the Manchester United winger. And it'll be a throw in for Tottenham as we're into the 90th minute of the game. We have not had a draw in this fixture at Old Trafford since 2005. We could be getting an all-square game here. Højbjerg forward to Bentancur. away from Varane, tackled though by Dalot just on halfway. Martinez forward to Fernandes, tries to move it on quickly towards Garnacho, cut out by Emerson, but as he released it there, Fernandes, he was fouled late by Romero. One captain on another. And just inside the centre circle in the Tottenham half, it'll be a Manchester United free kick. Just caught Fernandes there as he played the ball through. As Mickey van der Ven has eventually found himself back on the bench. For Tottenham. As we've got 5 minutes of added on time here. Dalot. Cross off a Dogi. That will be a throw in right next to the corner flag for United on the near side. Finds Fernandes. Left-footed cross. Dragusin with the header. Back to Fernandes, who loses out to Hill. Drops to Højbjerg, who plays forward to Richarlison. To his right to Hill. Could there be a counter-attack on here? Bentancur centre circle. Outside of the boot, ball into the space for Porro. Garnacho's chasing him back. Porro will slow the game down and give the ball to Bentancur. It's now Bryan Hill. About 25 yards from goal on the right-hand side. Furthest right is Porro. Everything to his left. He's going to go for a cross. In it goes. Varane flicks on to the far post where it will be seen through for a throw-in by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. On the far side, taken quickly to Udogie. Tommy on his back, but he keeps it moving. Going backwards to Radu Dragusin, who rejected the move to Bayern Munich to join Tottenham this January from Genoa. Højbjerg forced to go all the way back into his own half here to Vicario, who's got less than 4 minutes to play. They've added on time here at Old Trafford in the first game here in 2024. Hill. Back to Dragusin, the Romanian centre-back for Tottenham. Their number one target they wanted in January, and they've got him early, which is always good. Get your business done early in January. It's the hardest window in football. Bentancur out to the right to Johnson. It's not the greatest of passes, and he's lost out to Wan-Bissaka in the end at left-back, who goes down the line. His touch was poor. Kicked out of play by Porro. That'll be a throw-in for Manchester United towards the halfway line on this near side. There is Sir Jim Radcliffe, sat next to Sir Alex Ferguson. So he's become part owner of Manchester United. Down the line, Dalot to Anthony. He stayed on side at the moment. In the final third, he's had to go back to Dalot. The flag has remained down though. Dalot gets away from Hill. Needs to work the cross Dalot. He does, which deflects and straight into the hands of Vicario in the 6-yard box. And we've got 2.5 minutes left to play this game. Don't think it'd be a bad point for Tottenham. It'd be their 4th of the season in the league. It'd only be Manchester United's 2nd draw in the league this season. And that other one came away at Anfield as Johnson nips in ahead of Wan-Bissaka, but from behind he wins the ball beautifully. Manchester United can go again. Garnacho in the final third on the near side. Running at Porro, going on the outside of Porro, beating Porro, going down, another challenge. Referee waves play on, and Porro can get it forward to Richarlison. Nice touch out of his feet, and fires it left to Hill. Passes the halfway line. Not got many options ahead of him. Finds Højbjerg in the centre circle. Forward to Hill, and then back to the halfway line again to Udogie. And Tottenham are just going to settle with the ball here for the remaining minute and a half here. Doesn't look like Tottenham are desperate for a winner. I think they'll take a point here. It's not a bad point away at Old Trafford. Vicario clears it, left-footed. Just about reaches Udogie, who goes down under the challenge of Anthony, and nothing's given. Throw-in for Manchester United, just over a minute to play. Throw-in goes to Anthony. Back into Dalot. Across to Martinez on the edge of the centre circle. Exactly a minute to go. Garnacho giving time to get a right-footed crossing. Højlund free. It's McTominay who was the man free. And he was the one who won the header. And 6 yards out, all on his own, he's headed it over the crossbar. He's not even worked Vicario in the Tottenham goal. Cross goes in. It's a beauty from Garnacho. The way he gets the weight right. straight onto the head of McTominay, all on his own, and somehow he's not even worked the goalkeeper. That is the best chance of the game in the last 20, 30 minutes. We've not had a lot going on in terms of chances, and that'll probably be the last chance of the game. I thought it was Højlund, but he'd made the run at the near post. McTominay, he stayed quite central, and it dropped to him free. And to have a header like that on your own, you've got to at least get it on target. Mainu, ball through in behind, asking too much of Højlund, straight through to Vicario. We've now played the 5 minutes here of added on time. Vicario forward to Romero, and that is where the referee will blow for full time. Ten Hag and Postecoglou shake hands after it ends all even. It's the first draw between these two in the Premier League at Old Trafford since October 2005. That one was a 1-1 draw. This time we've had a 2-2 draw. The goal scoring started in the 3rd minute through Rasmus Højlund, an early goal for Manchester United. Gave them the lead, but they were pegged back in the 19th minute through Richarlison. A corner headed at the near post into the far corner. And that meant the game was levelled at 1-1. And then Manchester United, even though they were being pretty dominated inside their own half by Tottenham, they were able to get a goal back ahead. Højlund 1-2 with Rashford meant that the Manchester United winger slotted home for 2-1 into the bottom right corner. Then straight after the second half started, a minute in, Rodrigo Bentancur received the ball on the edge of the box from Werner, dribbled into the area towards the 6-yard box, got away from Evans, had the shot at goal, which fired into the top right corner. It made it 2-2. Tottenham continued to dominate. Not many chances were going on until the very end there, where Scott McTominay had a free header from 6 yards out and he couldn't even work the goalkeeper. Over the bar it went. And here at Old Trafford, it ends Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. I think the first half was definitely a better showing of quality. I think the second half, just the chances just weren't there. That's what happens with football sometimes, with Tottenham being the away side and dominating so much. I think they were just a little bit too scared to give too much space away in behind if they were to lose it. So I think they were just happy to keep the ball instead and not force the chances. If they came through, then brilliant. But if they didn't come, then, we've got a point. And I think Tottenham at the end of that were more than happy to just walk away with a point in the end. But that is full time here. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. But here at Old Trafford, we have seen Manchester United go ahead twice in the game, and we have seen Tottenham come back twice. And it ends here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2.